Good morning. My name is Derek Sales, Chairman of the Roxbury Area Chamber of Commerce. Today's breakfast is being sponsored by the upcoming Cancer Symposium. Chris Chandler and Michelle Nance, we appreciate you arranging to be the host of this meeting. We look forward to hearing from you about the upcoming Cancer Symposium event that you have coming up. Before we move along, I'd like to recognize elected officials that are present. First, I'll go with the county commissioners. Chairman of the board, he's running for re-election, David Newell. We have Jimmy Clayton, Grant County Commissioner Jimmy Clayton, he is running for re-election. We have Henry Daniel with the City Council. Henry. We have with us Sheriff Dewey Jones. Dewey. We also have with us Person County District Attorney Wallace Brasher. And we have on the Board of Education, we have Chairman Gordon Powell. He's also running for County Commissioner. We also have some candidates that are here. We have Jay Schultz, District Court Judge, there he is. And then we have Donald Long, County Commissioner, running for County Commissioner. All right, is there anybody I missed? Try to get everybody, so every now and then I miss someone. So thank you. Appreciate you guys coming out. And so at this time we have a couple of announcements. And Alicia, you going to do this?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. As always, you've got some propaganda at your seat. Most importantly, for the Personality Festival that's coming up August 26th and 27th. It is less than 100 days away, which is exciting and scary all at the same time. But it will be another great year. This is the 37th anniversary of the festival, and we are proud to bring it to the community once again. But there is some basic information at your seat. If you are interested in being a sponsor or setting up a booth, or if you know someone who maybe sells jewelry or handmade soaps or honey from our community, and they might want to set up a booth and get some great interaction with members of the community, just have them give our office a call and we will share all the information with them and get them squared away. But most importantly, we ask that you mark your calendar for those dates and bring your friends and family and church members with you uptown so we can have another great year at this event. Some of you also have a brochure for the Saccone 5K that is coming up in June. They are still accepting registrations for that, and we are proud to have them as one of our chamber members and told them we'd be happy to hand out some materials for that upcoming event happening at Bayo Park. Thank you again for being here, and I hope you all have a great day.
Alicia. Thank you, Alicia. Before I invite our guests to speak, first thing, one thing I would like to mention, and this is on behalf of the chamber. I know I saw some of you guys here that played in the golf tournament last weekend, last Friday. And so I just want to say thank you all for coming out and supporting that, whether either you played or whether you sponsored a hole or something of that nature, donated a door prize. We appreciate it. We had a good turnout. Donna and Olga, appreciate what you've done with the golf course as well. We had a good time out there. So anyway, I just want to mention that. And it's always a fun time, and it's a good fundraiser for the chamber, and a lot of good time for everyone to socialize and just have a good day. So now I'd like to invite Chris Chandler and Michelle Nance to begin the presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Thank y'all for coming out. We're here today to talk to you about cancer in Person County. As you all know, it's extremely high here. We're all the time hearing about somebody new who's been diagnosed. All of a sudden we hear about someone who just passed away, and we go, what's happened? And they all of a sudden, cancer hit their body, they didn't know it had been there. And all of a sudden it was at stage 4, and it was in progression 4, and then they passed away. There was nothing that could be done. I've been on Person County Relay for Life for many years now. And last year I took over as chair. one of the things that some of the people in the county asked was, what are you going to do to stop cancer? How can you prevent it? Well, there's nothing that I can do or that we can do to stop it. First off, we'd have to do a major study, which takes a lot of time and money to figure out what are root causes in Person County that we think would cause it. What would be better suited for us and for everybody, not just in Person County, but in every county, is to bring us the awareness, the education, so that people can be prepared ahead of time. So in doing that, one of my thoughts last year was having a symposium so that we can get the information to the people and help people. I've kind of done a little bit at Relay last year. We had a bra lady from Danville come down and show her stuff and explain it. We are trying to do new things like that. We have a lady who's contacted us about doing a bone marrow swab test at Relay this year. And our ACS people are working through the logistics to make sure that's legal and, for the site to do that, to get people registered. And it's a simple thing. It's just a swab. You swab inside your mouth, put it back in an envelope, it's mailed back to that company, and it's put in a database that you're registered in case you match. So that's some things that are working towards in Person County to help people in the long run. But in the meantime, what I wanted to do was bring the awareness and for the education, because we need to stop it. It's not going to stop today, which we wish it would. But there is a cure, and if you would have heard Joe Biden this year, first of the year, he said he thinks there's a cure within 10 years. That's huge. He was just at Duke a few months ago, and they did a moon rocket project, and with some of the top people at Duke and Carolina. And they're putting a project together to go after that target. And it's a great thing. I hope we can find that in 10 years. I really do. I've lost plenty of family, just like I know all of you have. I don't know if there's somebody in Person County who hasn't been touched by it, either a family or a colleague. If there is, I don't know how, but it's so high here. We are pretty much #1 in the state. We're #3 in the United States for cancer. Our region is. And that's not good. We are very fortunate to have at our backyard Duke, Carolina, you got Rex, you got the Baptist Children's Hospital. It gets funding and gets the research done to help find cures, to help find medicines to prolong and make life better. There is a new sale that's in the early stages. The FDA has not approved it. But what this cell does is it goes and it attacks the cancer cell. It eats that cell. Now that is not for all cancers. That is the bad side of that. So we're waiting on the FDA to approve that. Something new I read here recently, and this really brought it home again. People who are survivors, the longer you are a survivor, the greater chance you have of a metamorphosis cancer coming back. It's something new. It's always been there, and it's been a low scale, but now it's been going up for the last 8 or 10 years. They don't know why. One thing they talked about was that maybe some of the medicines were re-triggering in the body. So that's something that was very alarming, and that goes back to what we're trying to do. Like I said, cancer has affected my family deeply. I've lost several uncles, aunts, grandparents, great-grandparents, and I'm no different than anybody else in the county. comes to that. I have a brother, a sister, and a half-brother. And I expect with the rate and the way it's been in our family, one of us to get it. With that being said, my brother served our country, so I hope he retired. I hope he doesn't get it. My sister owns Fabulous Feet Studio, and those kids depend on her. I hope she doesn't get it. My half-brother is autistic. I hope he doesn't get it, so that just leaves me. I don't want it, but if one of the fourths is going to get it, I hope he comes to me. They've done their part, and I just can't see them getting it. It leads to something else that comes up a lot of times when cancer comes is, how do you talk to a loved one about it? I've heard a lot of times the husbands take it the hardest when their wife has it. And I've spoke to a couple of husbands, and men, you know, the one thing we're supposed to be is a protector of our family. And when something like that hits, it takes it hard on you. You try to figure out what you could have done. And a lot of these men have really struggled with that. And this goes back to our symposium that we're going to have. It's things like this. When we have this symposium, we're going to have some top doctors, researchers from Duke that are coming. Several of those have already been booked. But we're going to have people there. We got to talk to the health department. We have a lot of resources in Person County, in Durham County, that we're going to have at this event that can answer any and every question that you have. There will be people there to assist with things that you may need as a survivor, a caregiver, or just a member of the family to help you through what's going on. We have some survivors here. And it's when you're a survivor the rest of your life because you are still fighting. It's not something that has happened and you beat it. Especially with the new evidence coming out. There's always a chance it's coming back. And you always hear about someone who had cancer, they beat it, and all of a sudden they've got another cancer. You go, I thought they beat that. Well, they did, but now it's something else. Well, there is this new rare cancer that they have. So with that being said, this is why it hits hard, it hits home to me, of finding a way to help the people of Person County. And this is what led to the discussion that we had about it. If you look at the paperwork I gave you, it's an outline of why we're going to do this. It talks about what I've already talked about. It tells you the top cancers in Person County: lung, prostate, breast, colorectal, pancreas. Dr. Alan Chapp, he just left Person Memorial, if I understand correctly. I spoke to him last year. He'd only been here just a couple of years. And when he and I talked, he was very shocked and surprised that a county of this size, just a shy under 40,000, he did on average 2 or 3 breast cancer surgeries a month. He did a minimum of 1. He said, but most months it was 3. And he said he couldn't understand that. He said it just, the county of this size. He said, he said something has to be done. And so I talked and worked with him some on this. We have right outside here regional cancer. And right now, I think they have stopped because they don't have a oncology doctor there. They're trying to get one back here. So, I mean, we have people who can't make it to Durham. A lot of us think that Durham's just down the road. But remember, cancer hits from the rich to the dirt poor. It hits everybody. It doesn't know age. where it doesn't matter where you're from or anything. And these people can't make it to Durham. And it's great that we have this place here. And I hope that they'll get a doctor that will stay full-time with them and be here at all times because of the people in Percy County. With that being said, we're going to tie in our symposium with a survivor dinner we have every year. Some of you may not know about that. Percy County Relay for Life does a yearly survivor dinner. And there typically runs a minimum of about 300 people there. We provide a nice meal, and Golden Corral does that for us. We have some people that will come and sing. I think we did comedy one year. We try to mix up the entertainment and different things. And we'll have someone come and normally we have a local pastor that will be there, and we'll pray and talk to the people. And then, but the big thing about that is these survivor people look for this every year because it's an opportunity for them to have a moment with other survivors. It's a chance for them to come and talk with people that's the only time they kind of see them. But it's also an opportunity, they see new people and meet somebody new who is going through cancer. And they get to bring them aside and kind of lead them and mentor them and help them out in ways. But with that being said, 300 is a far cry from the number of survivors in Percy County. We all the time have people ask us, well, you know, did you invite somebody? Did you invite this person? And, we don't go out and beat your door down and ask you if you're a survivor. We go, hey, we know you've gone through cancer. A lot of people don't want that to be known. It's a tough thing for them. I don't know because I'm not a survivor. I know the things I hear from them and others that I know. We talk about things, but it's tough, and it goes back to why the symposium we're trying to do to give back and answer and to help these people, help the families. We're going to have people there that there's a lot of new research that has transpired and come about, and people don't know about that, and we want to get these out in front of them to help them. To let them know about these things. There is a test called the Brock test. The Brock test is a genetic test of families that have a certain percentage of cancer that has occurred. This test is about $8,000 to $10,000. Insurance companies used to not pay for that. A lot of them now do pay for that. But it's stuff that people don't know. I didn't know that until about a year or two ago. And that's because of being involved in relay, just because of the cancer in my family. And I work at Duke in maintenance. But I make friends with a lot of cancer people, doctors and researchers. I have a sister-in-law in a brain tumor center. So I try to go to things and learn about this stuff so that I can bring it back and pass it on as much as I can to people I know. And it's back to what we're trying to do. You know, another question is, why did it happen to me? You know, sometimes it appears, you know, they've only had one family member that it happened to 20 years ago, and all of a sudden it happens again. There's no rhyme or reason to cancer. If it was, we could find a cure for it. We're getting close. We are. The one fear I have in that when Joe Biden said we can have a cure in 10 years is that the pharmaceuticals won't let it happen. That's a big fear I have because of it. If you know someone that has cancer, you know what medicine costs. The dearer the medicine is, the more the price keeps going up. And it's getting outrageous. A lot of these families can't pay for it, so they're not taking some of the medicine. And because of these things, it's why we're trying to do what we do, and to bring resources out to help them. There are some places that will help pay for medicine that we're learning about, businesses and groups throughout the United States. So we're trying to get that information together so that we can have it now and for future, and to keep learning and growing more to help the people of Percy County. April, several of us from Percy County went to a, what we thought, or I thought, was a cancer symposium in New Bern, North Carolina, put on by the state. But it was actually called a Survivor Summit. This was a 2-day event down in New Bern, and we got a lot of great information. One reason it was going was to learn so that we could bring that back here for what we're going to do with Percy County. But this was more tailored to a survivor it's becoming a survivor right now, someone who's battling now. And it was really about eating healthy, exercise, taking time mentally for yourself to help with the battle. And we may sit here and think, how is eating right and exercise and taking time for yourself going to help you? I know what they told me. I'm not a survivor, so I don't know. But we met people there that have been going to the same summit that are survivors year after year. And they talk about how great it is and what it means to them and what it has done for them. And that's what we hope that our symposium will do when we have it this year. And then hopefully it's a great success and we can continue to do this year after year until the cure is found. And then hopefully we can do it then to help those that are still going through the process because they already had it. We'll be able to still learn and bring others back to help them with that. With all that being said, on the tables we put out a picture. This is a billboard that we'll be doing. Percy County Cancer Symposium. It tells about it Saturday, July the 30th from 1 to 6 at Clement Baptist Church. And we'll have more information on Facebook as all the doctors and stuff come up and locked in and everything. But there are a couple pushes left that are going on that AIDS American Cancer Society is helping fight. One is, if you'll remember years ago with tobacco, gave money to the government for what had happened, about teen smoking and stuff. You used to see ads all the time about kids and cancer, quit smoking and all that. You don't see that anymore. It stopped because all that money that tobacco gave has been spent. The government is the #1 funder for research for cancer, and they give several billion. How much they give for kids? 0. We're pushing to get that changed. Another thing, prostate cancer. You know, the rule is men over 50 to get checked. There's a big push now to have that changed because so many people now, when they do get checked at 50, it's kind of too late. So now there's a push for 2018 for it to be at 40. So there are some things, behind the scenes being done to try and improve and make things better on the upper end of businesses and organizations. To kind of give you an idea of our expense for the symposium, it's about $5,094 is the budget. Now, some of that has come off because the original rental space was $600. Now that we're doing it at Clement, that cost is 0. The renting chairs and tables, because we don't have enough there to do a symposium and a dinner, we have that cost. media and marketing so that we can get it out. Because this is open to all residents of Percy County. And if you have a family member that's struggling, that's in Orange County, invite them. It's okay with us because it's about everybody. We're doing this for Percy County, but it's for everybody. And then, of course, we're going to be passing out information to the people that come. So we have to pay for that stuff too. So that's kind of an idea of what it's going to cost us. And we're looking for support from the county to help cover these costs. And we greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for everybody in the county, all year long at other events that take place. That, you know, we're not the only people. And we appreciate what you do for Relay, in anything that transpires in Percy County, because everything that's done in this county is done for the people of Percy County. And that's the ultimate goal, is to help those. I'm going to turn it over to Michelle for a few words, and afterwards, if there's any questions, feel free to come up and talk to me. I'll be here for a little while.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Hance, and I have been on the Percy County Relay for Life Committee for the last 8 years. Cancer affected my life personally in 1998. My dad was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he lost his battle in 1999. And then in 2006, my father-in-law and my husband were diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer. They were both diagnosed about 2 months apart, and they both lost the battle in 2008. So cancer is very dear to my heart, even though my experience with it didn't end as well. But I still have hope that one day they will find a cure for other people, and they won't have to go through what my family did. There are hundreds of people in Person County that have survived and are still going through treatment, and the goal of the symposium is for us to bring awareness to the county, but to also educate the people about the resources that are available here in the county and in the surrounding areas that they will have access to. So we hope as a community you'll support our endeavors, and I'm going to end with a quote that I found that I thought was very becoming to what the survivors and people go through. The goal is to live a full, productive life, even with all that ambiguity. No matter what happens, whether the cancer never flares up again or whether you die, the important thing is that the days that you have had, you will have lived. And that is our goal in this, that anyone who's struggling with battling cancer, that the days that they have or the rest of their life, that they have the resources and they can live the most productive life that is available. And so we hope that you'll support our endeavors and that this will be a successful event.
Well, thank you, Chris and Michelle, for speaking with us this morning. I know it's not the most popular topic that people like to talk about, a little depressing. But on a positive note, I want to say, you talked about Survivor. Maybe some people know me, but don't. But I'm a survivor. It's probably been 15 years ago. And when the doctor comes in and tells you, Mr. Sims, we see a mass on your kidney, you immediately stop and say, uh-oh, you know, this is the end. My situation, surgery fixed it. Surgery took care of it. It's been 15 years now. So it is a depressing subject, but there are successes. And and I'm very thankful for the thing with me is they found it very early. And so people who don't get physicals, people who let things go, they're the ones that, you know, sometimes it's too late. So I advise anybody for the physicals that are out there, the things you can do is make sure you have your physicals. So anything not quite right, have you check that. So anyway, in regards to our next coffee hour, if you're interested in hosting one in June or July, please contact the chamber office. Otherwise, we hope you mark your calendar for to join us August 17th That'll be our next one. We don't have one between June and July. We will be helping Person County United Way kick off their annual campaign. We expect a large crowd, so where we normally meet here, we're going to be opening up some other sections here at Golden Corral, so we'll have room for everyone. And so, with that said, I appreciate everyone coming out this morning. Have a great week. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. And thank you again. We'll see you soon.